Headlines: the commanders of the Ethiopian and TPLF forces work out details in the Pretoria agreement. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Yabsarondum Taka from African Renaissance Television Services with tonight's news. Stay tuned. The commanders of the Ethiopian and TPLF forces work out details in the Pretoria agreement. Following a week-long discussion in Nairobi, the Ethiopian government and TPLF senior commander signed an agreement to end the war. Brukas Seged has more details.
According to the peace agreement, the commander of the Ethiopian Defense Forces and the commander of the TPLF militants consulted in Nairobi on the detailed plan for the disarmament of the TPLF militants. They have also agreed on the plan to disarm and enter Mekelle within the time frame of the peace agreement. The plan will be implemented later. The government communication service announced it in a statement issued after the Nairobi agreement that the Ethiopian government has reminded all relevant parties to fulfill their obligations under the agreement for the implementation of the plan. According to the agreement signed on November 12 in Nairobi, in the next 7 days, the military leaders will give orientation to their soldiers and then federal officials will take over their responsibilities in Tigray, he said. It states that the disarmament of heavy weapons will be done simultaneously with the withdrawal of foreign forces in the Tigray region and forces other than the National Defense Forces. It is also stated in the agreement document that a committee composed of both sides will be established to facilitate the disarmament of small arms. According to the peace agreement document, the military commanders will return to their normal positions on Tuesday, November 15 and give an orientation to the forces they will lead for the next 7 days. In 4 days after the orientation, militants will be evacuated from the conflict areas. Next, the federal authorities take over the responsibility of federal authority in all areas according to the constitution. This includes launching basic services. The disarmament of heavy weapons will be done along with the withdrawal of foreign forces and forces other than the Ethiopian National Defense Forces from the region.
Court orders Abay Bank to pay 306 million birr to road administration. The Federal High Court gave a sentence in favor of the road administration by ordering the bank to pay 306 million birr. Brukas Seged has more on the matter.
A year-long court saga between the Ethiopian Roads Administration and Abay Bank Share Company ended with the judges at the Federal High Court ordering the bank to pay 306 million birr. The bank became liable for 2 advance payment guarantees it gave to the Roads Administration for the road construction projects that the administration, then authority, and Teklebran Ambay Construction PLC signed in 2017.
Commercial Bank restores banking services in 7 branches in Western Tigray. Commercial Bank of Ethiopia announced that it has restored banking services in 7 branches in Western Tigray, which is currently under the occupation of the Amhara region, where services were disconnected due to the war that had been going on for 2 years. Brukas Seged has more details.
The 7 branches of the bank, namely Maikadra, Humera, Hafta, Aurora, Dansha, Adiremitz, and Katama Nugus, which were operated under Shire banking districts before the war, have now started services under the CBS Gondar banking district. Alsan Asafa, corporate communication director of the bank. He also pointed out that other branches in Western Tigray, including Maizabri, Aikal, and Adi Hadri, Takaze, Adi Goshu, Kolarit, Satit, and Adabay will be operational soon.
Now on to news from abroad. Kenyan traders buy Ethiopian Mira for Somali market on high cost. Mira traders have shifted to Ethiopia as a source of market for the stimulant, where they are buying nearly half of the allocated quota for the Somali market as high costs in Kenya force them to abandon the local crop. Brukas Seged has more details.
The traders said they procure at least 40% of the 19 tons that the Somali market has allowed Kenyan business people to export to Mogadishu from Ethiopia, denying Kenya millions of shillings in earnings. Traders are paying a commission of $4.5 million for every kilogram of Mira that is exported to Somalia from Kenya. The money is collected by brokers at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi before they are allowed to export.
The U.S. government offers $10 million for information regarding Al-Shabaab leaders. The U.S. government has announced that it has increased its reward to $10 million for information leading to the capture of 3 Al-Shabaab leaders. Brukas Seged has more on the matter.
The American government has asked the citizens of Somalia and the countries in the region to cooperate in the search for 3 people, Ahmed Rie, Mahad Karatena, and Jihad Mustafa, including the American citizen and 2 individuals who have been the top leaders of the group for the past 14 years. It is said that the 3 individuals are accused of being responsible for attacks in Somalia and Kenya in which many people died. Larry Andre, the U.S. ambassador to Somalia, said in a statement in Nairobi, Kenya that the new $10 million reward is double than the previous award. The ambassador, the Voice of America radio station, reported that the government of Somalia has praised the efforts it is making in defeating Al-Shabaab, which is linked to Al-Qaeda.
Today is the day the world's 8th billion resident will be born. According to the projections by the United Nations Population Division, the world's 8th billion residents will be born today. Brooke Hasseged has more on the matter.
The global population will reach 8 billion, 3 times the size it was in 1950. Although there are more people on Earth than ever before because we're living longer, population growth is at its slowest in over 70 years. In 2020, the global population growth rate fell below 1%. This is mainly due to a reduced birth rate, with women having fewer children due to widespread contraception and better education and mobility for women and girls. The global population is also getting older. 10% are aged over 65, and this will increase to 16% by 2050.
These were the news we had for you for tonight. Once again, I am Yamsar Mtaka from African Renaissance Television Services. Thank you for watching.